Welcome to the Millionaire Momentum Podcast. My name is Allie Porter, and I'm a wife, a mom with 4 kids, a published author, speaker, and a connector concierge. I only connect you with things that will truly enhance your life and ultimately build your bank account. This is a Christian podcast that teaches you how to create abundance with God as your CEO in life and business. You will learn the millionaire mindset and skill set for more miracles and money in your life. Join me on a journey as my guests and I share with you how we keep God at the center of it all. Get ready to be inspired, believe, and receive. Hey, everyone. Welcome to the podcast today. I am so excited to have a special guest with us here today. It is Vanessa Rae from Vanessa Rae of Light. I am so excited because Vanessa and I met I don't remember how we met. How did we meet?
We met on Blitzer.
On Blitzer. Yes, right? See, this is Blitzer. I love Blitzer. Y'all, if you're not coming on Thursdays, come on Thursdays.
It is super fun. Yeah, it is very exciting.
It is. Yes. And I'm so grateful I was able to meet you, Vanessa. And we seem to get paired up a lot. And we're just like, yeah, we like, same vibe. It was great.
Definitely vibing for sure.
Yeah. So let me introduce you properly and then we'll dive into everything. So Vanessa Rae has named her business after what she believes everyone's soul mission is. And that is to shine their light. And I love that. I love that. Vanessa helps women and girls end the struggle with food, their body, and themselves, and claim freedom, confidence, and comfort in their own skin. Now, I have heard, you speak, Vanessa, and you are just amazing at what you do. But let's kind of back up a little bit and let's start with the where it all began, because I know that you didn't just end up here. You had to go on your journey.
Oh, yeah.
To get there. So let's start there.
Well, I will give you some of the short version. Why I do what I do is, first of all, I feel like I was born very intuitive, very open, very sensitive. What I call the word spiritual. I wasn't raised in a religious household or even a spiritual household, but I always had this sense of, words I use now are like the divine or the great mystery, or, I felt it and created my own way of relating with that through my childhood early on. And I feel like it saved my life quite literally many times. And while I was growing up, pretty early on, I started getting what I would just call, for lack of a better word, like weird around food. I, like most people, was very influenced and conditioned. And, part of this world and this society and this culture is we are very inundated with messages that are not affirming. It's not fair. It's really based around lack and fear. And we live in what I think of as like a you're not good enough kind of culture. And even if that's not said outright, which it's most of the time not, there's this fear-based, we're in competition, we're not young enough, we're not thin enough, we're not pretty enough. Like this thing is seeping in, and it seeped into me for sure. And then I, like other people, had my own just issues in life that would then make me feel that way as well, or didn't make me feel that way, but I took it that way, and it became kind of woven into the fiber of who I was becoming. And probably early teens, I started to become really preoccupied with food and overeating and my body. And that just started to grow and grow and grow and snowballed into, an outright eating disorder, which was in my case, binging and overeating and often purging as well. So bulimia. But
Wow.
there was another thing asides of that physical act, what I think is a thing that's not talked about as much. It's just kind of, again, like just in our culture and insidious, is this constant berating and judging and critiquing and putting ourselves down in one way or another. And I still see it. I see it in girls younger and younger. And I still see it in elderly women too. And so I had that going on in my head. And that really was the culprit for what continued to be an eating disorder for about 15 or so years. And all that while my relationship to my spiritual self, my higher self, the divinity in life was with me as well. And that would always kind of pull me back, kind of keep me alive, keep me tethered. And like I said, like literally saved me. And when I really hit rock bottom, and there was, it's normally not like just a perfect story, like, oh, I was going like this, then it went like this, then it went like this. Like everything is a wave. So there's
Yep.
these in and out waves. But in one of my lower fluctuations, my spirituality began to overpower my dysfunctionality.
Mhm.
And I really began my slow process of really healing from the inside out. And a lot of what I did, or all of what I did really, is now what I do with people and in the work I created. And now, while I was really in the depths of this internal and external healing, I didn't know that I was going to go on and do this work. I'm a trained musician, and I've always been a singer and a songwriter.
Really? I don't think I knew that about you.
Yeah, that's my
Wow.
first life. That's what my degree is in, and I've written hundreds of songs. I'll have to share with you another time about some of that.
Oh, that's so cool.
Um, but yeah, that was my other love. And
Mhm.
and even in that industry too, there was a lot of focus on like what you look like and what you're
Yes.
not like, more so than what you sound, or what you have to say or what your message is. There was that pressure too of just such an externally focused and value on the external versus, this is my biggest real thing that I hope people take away, and this is the foundation of all of my work, is that we are already worthy.
Mhm.
That is something that was already given to us. It's already who we are.
Yes.
And it doesn't ever go away, no matter what dysfunctional thoughts you're having, what dysfunctional behavior, whether it's like drugs, alcohol, bulimia, even, horrific things that I obviously don't condone any of those things, or like,
Mhm.
violence makes me sick. It's
Mhm.
horrible. However, that person is still a worthy, valuable, completely lovable, beautiful human underneath the poison or the toxicity or the dysfunction. And I think that is so, so, so huge. And that is not how society mainly is. That is not the
No.
message we get. And so my slow working my way out of bulimia and depression and dysfunctional relationships, because there's so much that comes along with all of that. It's not like everything else in my life was perfect. And then in this one area, I was just like really, really struggling. It does
Yeah,
seep.
it affects everything else.
Right,
Mhm.
exactly. It affected who I chose to partner with. It affected how far I went in the things I
Mhm.
did want to do, like music and things. And so
Mhm.
it drained my energy. It really was this lack of living the life I was here to live, and I knew it. And
Mhm.
that guilt would just compound, and that was the other thing, and another big part of, not just my work, but any good work out there, the work that the world really needs, is like we have to stop judging and berating, and all
Yes.
of the drama and the guilt and the shame is, that's one thing I use like a higher power for, or whatever your words are for it. something that's able to do something for you that you just cannot seem to do for yourself.
Yeah.
There's this surrender of like, let me hand this over. Let me
Mhm.
learn to heal this, and let me know my true worth so
Mhm.
that I can live up to it, and so that I can live a life that not only is just totally fun and enjoyable and fabulous and makes me happy, but that I am actually serving when I am that person. I am actually being
Yes.
who I'm meant to be for others.
Mhm.
And the guilt I was having because I was busy having an eating disorder or a self obsession, a body obsession, a food obsession, all that energy and time that I spent binging and beating myself up and all of that stuff meant I wasn't spending that energy doing something else, you
Oh,
know?
can I just touch on that really quickly?
Yeah,
Because I think that if everybody were to just realize that no matter what struggle you have or what trial it is, whether it's, an eating disorder, whether it's, just depression, whether it's just workaholic, whether it's, I don't know, whatever the thing is, that is not who you are. Like at the core, you are perfect as you are. And to really like let that sink in, because even like so often, even in something as simple as like my parenting, right? So like I yelled at my daughter the other day and I was just like, why did I yell at her? Why couldn't I have just not done that? That energy that I spent beating myself up for that, I could have spent instead giving her a hug and having fun and enjoying life and realizing we're not perfect. We will never be perfect. There's always going to be something. There's always going to be something. And turning that over to
exactly.
the higher power, to God, to the universe, to whatever that word is for you, that's what we believe in, is realizing. And I love what you said, the surrender of just letting that go, that truly uncovers who you truly are. And that affects everything else that you do in your life. That affects your work, your relationships, your kids, yourself, like your relationship with yourself, your self love.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's amazing. It's amazing.
Well,
Keep
and
going. Sorry, I was just
no, that was brilliant.
beautiful.
That's exactly right. I agree 100%. And really, and this is in for all areas, but it's certainly a part of my work, is it's like when we decide to engage in the dysfunctional, even that dysfunctional moment of thinking, because I think
Mhm,
of, like you said, who we are is actually perfect. Then we
mhm,
have these different patterns and these different tendencies and these different, habits and these different moments. And we're never going to do it perfect, or we will for a second, but then the next second we won't,
mhm,
So it is about, though, realizing when you catch yourself in that self-berating, whether it's over the
mhm,
food or whether it's yelling at your kid, and I do both. I still don't
mhm.
eat perfectly, and I still snap at my daughter sometimes. But I realized if I want to lay more on by, like, making myself more guilty in the moment, I mean, there's a line from A Course in Miracles that I love, and it's just as blasphemous to blame and judge yourself as it is to blame and judge someone else.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Wait,
So
wait, 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 wait. Say that again, because I want people to really internalize this. Say it
yeah.
again.
So it is just as blasphemous to blame and judge yourself as it is to do another. Who are you to put yourself down?
Exactly.
Do we get to
Exactly.
treat ourselves like trash and eat like trash and call ourselves trash and then look in the mirror and say we're trash?
Yeah.
Like, and the thing is, when you believe there's only one of us here, when I put myself down, I'm putting down every woman everywhere.
Yep.
And we
Because we're
say
all
things
connected.
exactly. We say
Mhm,
things like, "Oh, I do it to myself." And I know that sentiment and I know what that means, and I can relate to it personally as well.
mhm.
None of these things are things I haven't done or don't currently work on. But when I get really fired up about my mission, and I think, because there's an epidemic again of women that they'll put themselves down and they go, I would never do that to someone else. And I go, you are doing it to someone else. You're doing it to every woman everywhere. You're doing it to every little girl. You're doing it to my daughter. You're doing it to me. If you're going to put yourself down and say you're fat and ugly and worthless, then like there really is no separation. That's the illusion.
Yeah.
So you're really, that's the responsibility. When I hear people talk about like radical responsibility, that's where for me it becomes real.
Mhm.
Like, oh, I want to be so responsible that when I put myself down, I apologize, just like I would to my daughter, just like I do to anyone else. When there's anything that needs to be cleaned up, you clean it up, because you don't need to be perfect. You need to admit when you've made a mistake so you can clear it, you can be back at peace,
Mm.
you
That
know?
is so beautiful. I love that, and I love being able to really spend time forgiving myself. Like, and I don't think we spend time there. We don't. We just gloss over it. And even if we're like, okay, I'm sorry, to yourself. But no, like actually sit in it. Like really own that you were not nice to yourself and
Yeah,
that you were not thinking those good thoughts. Because if you spend time there, and I'm huge on mindset and all that stuff, and I know you are as well. And then I want to dive into how you can help people, because
sure.
this is huge. But the when you can really sit with yourself and you can, number one, admit that you made a mistake, right? Because we don't want to be in denial, because then we're never going to change and grow.
Right.
But then we can sit and really like love ourselves and really understand that we are human, and this is part of this life's experience, right? Is messing up, so that we
Yeah.
can
And imagine,
look
I
at it,
always tell
learn from
people,
it. Go ahead.
oh, sorry. Um, I use the love. I love being a mom. I have one daughter and I love her like nothing else. And I try to get people in touch with what they really love, whether it's their kids, their
Mm,
dog, God, nature, a certain craft or whatever. It's normally a person. It's normally like a living thing that you are connected with. But whatever it is. And so I use my daughter a lot for this. And I imagine the way that I'm treating myself, imagine I was treating her that way. And all of a
mm,
sudden, what seemed okay to abuse myself as is heartbreaking to imagine saying it to
yeah.
her. And if my daughter, and I'm grateful that she doesn't, and she probably doesn't, partially because I do all this healing work on myself, but
Mhm.
she doesn't have an eating thing. But if she did, if she messed up, I wouldn't berate her into fixing it. I mean, that is
No.
just the opposite. That's not true healing. That's not
Mhm.
teaching and leading by example. And we do this thing of withholding love. When we mess up, we just withhold love.
Yeah,
We withhold it from
exactly.
ourselves, we withhold it from our loved ones. And this goes right into my work, and what's different is
Yeah,
that
please tell us what you do, because I know so many people will need what you have and will be changed by what you do. So please, please, please tell us what you tell the world. I wanna
well,
know.
I help people lose weight with love. I help people change their eating habit through love. It's all love based. Love is the way out, love is the way through, love is the way, period. And so you're never going to be harsh enough with yourself to be in the body that you feel good in. I mean, even if someone, and a lot of people do, beat themselves up and or control to the point that they're the right weight or the right look, they're in mental hell on the inside.
Exactly.
I mean, that's
Mhm.
not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about this external thing. I am talking about using this gentle, loving, forgiving, always present. So really it's about us becoming present to what's just there waiting. It's like
Mhm.
just like however you think of that incredible power, it's not like it goes away. It's like we go away.
Exactly. It's always
I'm
there.
not kidding. Here it is.
Yep.
It's like this, there's this love available. And so it's about a psychological, a spiritual, and yes, eventually a physical way of tuning into that to heal your relationship with your body,
Mhm.
with your food. So again, that might, for some people, it's if you have weight to lose, and that would really enhance your life because you would be a better version of yourself and you would give and show up the way you really are here to do, then it's losing weight in those situations. if it's losing weight for health, things like that. But for anyone who is just uncomfortable, let's say you know, hate your body. Let's say you've never felt comfortable in your body. Let's say, and this is the case for a lot of people that have issues with their body, is like there's been some trauma, some serious trauma, or
Mhm.
some, you know, I myself, as far as I can remember, didn't have like a serious assault trauma, you know, at least
Mhm.
not at a young age or anything. But we're all hurt, we're all wounded. There's other traumas of like I was bullied and I didn't get my needs met in my growing up household. And
Yeah.
it's heartbreaking. We all have these stories, and depending on how we've internalized them, what we've made them mean, what we ended up doing with that energy. I know for myself, like I said, it turned on myself, it turned to food, turned to
Mhm.
too much food, and then it turned to berating, and you know, and I've had other issues too. But so for people that don't feel right, don't
Mhm.
feel good enough, they might have a compulsive eating habit, an emotional eating habit. There's also people that are very controlling about their food and withhold food. So
Mhm.
whether
Mhm.
that's, you know, whether you want to call it anorexia or whether it's just, like I said, you know if you're doing it, because if you're lacking peace, freedom, joy, self-expression, knowing that you're beautiful in your own way, you
Mhm.
know.
Mhm.
And I like to do this myth to miracle busting too, which, so like there's this myth that excuse me, if you're at peace and happy and comfortable with yourself like I am,
Mhm.
that you love every single thing about your body. And it's like, well, no. I mean, I'm a
That's not
human.
realistic.
Well,
Yeah.
I have preferences, just like I
Yeah.
have certain preferences of food or music or what I wanna wear a certain day or
Mhm. Mhm.
whatever. Like, you still have preferences. You can still say, "Oh, I wanna tighten up here," or, "I wanna feel more energized," or,
Mhm.
when I look at my butt, I don't like the way this looks." That is very different than saying, "I don't like myself
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
blank." Or
Exactly.
my life is not gonna be a full out, happy, good, full service life
Mhm.
because of my underarm. Like,
Yeah.
that's where you know, like, this is draining who I'm meant to be.
Yeah.
And so for people who, and again, really anyone that would come to me, it can be a male, but my services are focused around women and
Mhm.
girls. Um, who are struggling with like not knowing what to eat, not knowing how to eat, not knowing how to approach their body. They want to be happy in their body, but they don't
Mhm.
even know how. You know, it is my pleasure, it is my honor, it is my job, it is my mission to help people
And
in
that's what I
this
love the
way.
most about you is you come from a servant heart and you're here to do it in a way that, like you said, is not berating, that's
No, not at
loving
all.
and that gives people that space and time to allow it to happen versus being like, you have to do this, this is what you need to eat, this is how you need to work out.
No,
Like it's not like that at all.
no, this is actually, I'm very diet industry, to be honest.
Mhm.
It's I'm not really against. I don't spend my time thinking about it, to be truthful. It's just that's not what this is. So, you know, every once in a while someone will say, "Well, what do I eat?" or "What do you," like when they want to get the gist of how I work or what the program is. And, you know, the gist is I don't tell you what to do, first of all, because part of
Mhm.
this is like, is everyone really owning their own sovereignty, your own authority.
Exactly.
You know, you're a chooser, you're a co-creator. So if you would choose to learn more about the program, or I have some free things, I have some really discounted things, and then I have full programs. But wherever you are in any of that, if you're interested in any of that, none of it is about me telling you what to eat. And particularly for people that have what I call an eating dysfunction, meaning you're just a little funky with food, it's very triggering. That's why one reason diets don't work for a lot of people, um, in this group,
Mhm.
is because we can't be told no. Like, I know that I
Exactly.
can't. I know it triggers me, and then I'm more likely to go on a binge or to get a little wacky doodle. So I think of it in
Mhm.
my head, like just a little bit weird when I start saying no, this, yes, this. Instead, what I call aligned eating, which is getting really, really in alignment with
Yeah.
you, your body, what is right for you. You can call on your higher power if you feel comfortable with that. And this trial and error of like, what do I really feel good eating, and practicing feeling good while you're eating, practicing
Yeah.
remembering the blessing of your food. And like, not just maybe you're someone who blesses your food, but you're quickly like, oh God, blah, 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 and you're not actually present.
Yeah. And I think that's the key, is just being present, being
Right.
present. Oh, Vanessa, this has been amazing. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for showing up and just allowing people to see who you really are and what you can offer them. Um, Guys, if you want to learn more about Vanessa, we have her website here. It's vanessaarayoflight.com. It's perfect. I love it. Because you are a ray of light. So is there any other places that you would like to connect with people if they want to know more about you and how they can connect with you?
Yeah. So I am on YouTube. I have some free resources, meditations, some webinars and things there. I'm also on Facebook and Instagram, and I do have a free private, if you want to meet, if you want to talk, if you want to be in a Facebook group, it's I wrote it down just in case, the Miracle Mindset Weight Loss Group.
Awesome.
Vanessa Rae on Facebook, and Vanessa Rae of Light. And I do have a special also, if you're interested. I have it's a 6-hour, 5-part training. It's my mini miracle bundle, my mini training bundle, which is a whole bunch of content. And right now, at least, it's $37. So it's a great, if this is, if this speaks to you and you get excited about this, this is a really great way to get a lot of content, get some exercises, download the videos that you will have forever. Like I said, it's about 6 hours. And right now it's $37. So you
That's a
can find
steal,
that on my
y'all.
website. Yeah, it is. If this is for you, then that would be the way to do it.
That is awesome. That is awesome. Oh, well, thank you so much, Vanessa, for being here. Thank you for sharing, all of your wisdom and light with us. And we are so, so blessed to have you. And if you want to connect with Vanessa, reach out, because she would love to connect with you. So
Would.
with that, thank you so much again.
Thank you.
And
You're
this has been
excellent at
super
this.
fun.
I'm so happy to be your friend and to be here with you.
Oh, thank you, Vanessa. You're amazing. So with that, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day, and we'll see you on the next episode. Take care.
Bye.
Thank you for listening or watching today's episode. My hope is that you will share this podcast with those that you know, so that we can help support and grow each other's brands, missions, and passions. If you are a business owner or a brand that wants to get the word out about what you do, I would love to offer you exposure for your business through multiple platforms and channels, including being featured on my YouTube channel, this podcast, being a guest expert at my weekly networking event, as well as being featured on my newsletter that is sent out to my thousands of email subscribers. So if that resonates with you, you can find me at askallieporter.com. I can't wait to connect with you. So again, I believe that building your network is building your net worth. So I am here to serve you and help you grow your millionaire momentum in whatever your business, passion, or mission is, so that you can ultimately bless the world. Remember to stay inspired, believe, and receive. We'll see you on the next episode.